Hi guys, Samantha from Jessima Tutorials here, and today I'm going to teach you how to create easy faux Larimar. So here's the colour that we're going to be working with today. Now this is a custom colour because I haven't been able to find a blue in any of the clay brands that I use that matches quite right. So the colour recipe should be in the description if you're interested, but it's basically 6 parts Premo translucent, 1 part Premo turquoise and 1 part Premo pale blue. And I also should have provided a link to a colour mixing video in the description. If it isn't, please just comment below and let me know and I'll immediately put it in if I forget. So I've just got that and I've rolled it out on the thickest of my pasta machine. Then you just want to take it and give it a burnish just to make sure that it's nice and smooth with no bumps. Like so. Okay. Then I'm going to be using my Larimar silk screen today. That's this design here. Just peel that up. And I'll place that down on the clay. Smooth it down so that it's stuck down, like so. Okay. Then you're going to want to grab some acrylic white paint. And pop plenty of that down. Okay, and then I'm going to have to do this way. Here we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to swipe across the surface like so. And I'm going to go back over. Oops, don't drop the thing. Generally that's not the thing you want to do. Then I'm going to go over and just spread the paint very gently so that it's just got a little bit of a thicker coat. There we go. Then let's grab that edge like so and peel up. Okay, and so here is how it looks after it's been silk screened on both sides. So after I silk screened this is the one that I showed, I went and cleaned the silk screen, waited for this to dry, then flipped and basically did the exact same thing on the other side because we do want it to be double. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim away the excess because when I cut this out I don't want to accidentally get spots that don't have any of the white on them. So I'll first do this side and then if there's any spots on this side like there, I'll trim that off. Okay. There we go. And then you want to choose which side you like the best. I like this side the best, so I'm going to put this down like so, and I'm going to use this cutter here because this is, when you cut with your cutter you will have a very slight dome and it means that the paint cracks a little bit, and I also want the side that is going to be my front side of my bowl to be flat. So I'm going to be cutting from the back side facing up. I was going to say something else. Okay, remembered what I was going to say. The reason I am going to be cutting this on a piece of paper, that's what I wanted to mention. You can cut this on a tile so that it doesn't stick in the cutter quite as much, but you will get shiny spots on the front of your piece, and that's something I don't really want because we can't sand this. And it's quite a big cutter, so if it does stick, it's very easy to get it out. So that is why I'm cutting on a piece of paper. Okay, and I'm using my largest statement capsule cutter, but you can use any cutter you want. And I'm just rotating this around while I cut to make sure that I've got even pressure. So when I lift it, you get a nice clean cut. Move that out the way, actually just flip that over, and then this did stick, but I'm going to very gently push it out and it should come up really easily. And now we do have some bits along the edge that's mainly paint because the cutter won't cut through paint. So I'll go in with my blade and trim any that I need. You can also just gently tap it up against the edge and that should do the trick. And there really is not a lot. I'm just doing this because it will save us sanding later. Okay. And tap along the sides. And that should get rid of any of the fluff from the cutter. There we go. And then you don't have to worry about sanding. Right. Okay. And I'm going to be using this doming tool of mine. I also sell it on my Etsy shop, Jessima Design. And I'm going to use that to dome my piece. Place it backside facing up again. And I'm not going to press it on here too hard. I just want it to be a rough shape. Okay. And then once it's baked, while it is still warm, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the oven with gloves on, heat-proof gloves. And I'll gently press on the sides like this until it has cooled. You can plunge it into water while doing that to get it to cool quicker, just because I do want these sides to dome just a touch more than they are, but I don't want to stick this down onto the tool too much because I'll just end up distorting it. So we can do that once it's baked. I'll show you how to do that. So you want to pop this into the oven for a full hour at Premo's recommended temperature, and then of course fuss with it after it has baked, and then we will do the little feet. Okay, and here it is out of the oven, and you can see that it's got a really nice subtle dome to it, not too much. So now what I want to do is I want to make a base. So I'm going to bring over this cutter, which is going to be what I use to make the base. It's just an oval donut cutter. I'm going to bring over a piece of clay as well. This is pearl white that was rolled out on the thickest city of my pasta machine. And I'm just going to fold it over like so that it's double the thickness. Take that and then burnish that down, and make sure that you're doing this on a ceramic tile or a glass tile so that it sticks. And let me just bring you forward so you can see that. There we go. Then I'm going to use some cling wrap or Glad wrap over the top. And this is just going to be so that the cutter doesn't stick, because this is quite thick, and I also would like it to have a slight dome. So it's for both those reasons. Okay, and then press down and make sure that you've got nice even pressure, and you can lift up every once in a while just to see if you're getting the dome that you like, and also to make sure that the plastic doesn't tear. So I can see there that I've broken through a little bit. If that happens, you want to swap to a new one, because it will end up marking the clay. And then before I cut straight through, I'll just go and run my finger over the surface just to smooth it out, because you might get some little bubbles. And then I'll cut the rest of the way through. And this should give us a really nice finish. Lift that up. You can see there that we've got a nice clean cut. Just run your fingers around the edge, make sure that you don't have any spots where the plastic wrap created spots. Then I'm just going to work that centerpiece out. Okay, and there we go. Then I'm very gently and carefully going to lift that up like so. And you can see that we do have fluff around the edges. Just take your finger and just run around the edge like so, and that will clean it right up. Getting rid of all of that fluff. Then I'll bring this piece over And I'm actually going to bring over a piece of paper. I'm going to flip this down so that the beveled side is facing down. And I'll just fuss with that a touch, just because it does get a little distorted, but not by much. Okay, and this is the part that you're not going to end up seeing. Then I'm going to bring this over. Just bear with me for a moment. There we go. And then I'm going to look from the side and make sure that that's in the middle. When I put it down, make sure it's in the center. And you can actually, you can flip that over and have a look if you're having trouble seeing it, which was what I was having a little trouble. Okay, and I think that's about in the center. Then I'm just going to take it and I'm gently going to tap that down once I'm happy with it. Okay. And then when I have tapped it all down, you want to just check around the edges, make sure that you have tapped it down. Smooth your fingers over it so that you don't introduce fingerprints, and just make sure that it is stuck down to the clay properly. You can use liquid clay as well to stick it down, but you don't really need to do that. And I'm just going over it and just making sure that it's nice and smooth. And I can see that I have a little spot here where the plastic did end up nicking it. I'm just going to smooth that over, like so. Okay, and then it looks quite nice. Last test is to put it down onto a piece of paper and just make sure that it's sitting nicely. It's not got any edges to it. And if it does, then pop it down exactly like this on the piece of paper and bake that for another hour at Premo's recommended temperature. And then after that we can varnish this and it will be done. Okay, and here it is out of the oven and it has cooled. So you can see that looks quite nice as a base. So now I am going to simply varnish it. You don't have to, because the clay and the paint are basically baked together, so you don't have to do that, but I do want a shiny surface. So I've got some gloss varathane off to the side here. I'm just going to take that and I'm going to apply a decent coat to the surface. And then once this coat has dried, I will then apply it to the back as well. Okay, and here it is once it has been glazed. And you can see that it just brings out a nice shine to the piece and just in general tidies it up. I've also run the glaze along the sides so that that's also got a nice shine to it. But yeah, that's basically it for the tutorial. Very simple, but I'd say quite effective design. Keep in mind that of course you can use any veneer you want to create this kind of bowl. You can also use any silk screen you want. However, if you want to go with the Faux Larimar effect, then you're going to have to use this kind of silk screen. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please let me know in the comments below if you liked it, and if you'd like to support the channel so that I can continue creating videos just like this one, please do consider becoming a member or a patron. Links in the description to Patreon. Also, something to note, if you are interested in a more complex Larimar tutorial, there is one available on Etsy and also on Patreon. So that is something to keep in mind. It's where we actually make a cane. So check that out if you're interested. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.